Hello, good morning, sir.
Good morning, Mr. Jude.
Yeah, good morning and welcome to Citizens Forum on Sapiencia's channel.
Yeah, it's my great pleasure.
All right, my guest was supposed to join us last week, but he couldn't.
I want to sincerely apologize for that.
All right.
It was due to some unavoidable circumstances, like I have explained to you in private.
Yes. All right, and we're not going to go into all of that private conversation. But then my guest today is Balarabe Rufai. He is the president, Rebuild Arewa Initiative for Development. Welcome to the program.
Yeah, thank you very much, Jude, for having me and our listeners.
All right, I've been following the news and I've seen press statements coming up from your organization recently, but somehow I want to keep that for last and talk about something I consider, and that's personally, I consider a burning right now in the north. First of all, is to talk about, first of all, praise the initiative, Rebuild Arewa Initiative for Development. Now, yes. I want you to tell us about the whole idea of this Arewa grouping, but then
yes.
let us have that in the light of what we see in the region, and that is so much talk about kidnapping every day, and it's coming up from the north. I mean, the country is insecure, but the kidnapping today has a northern face. Let's also talk about the insecurity that has a northern face, as it has to do with our farmers going back to farm and all of those issues. Can we have that in one conversation?
Yeah, you see, the Rebuild Arewa Initiative, you know, is an effort to intervene with what is happening in our region.
Okay.
The insecurity, like you have said, the hunger, you know, the robbery, the banditry, all that, it had its root causes. Before I go deep into that, I just want to remind you that there are available statistics that about 133 million Nigerians are living under dimensional poverty. And out of those 133 million, about 70% are living in the north. An idle mind is devil workshop.
Yeah.
A hungry man is an angry man. So all that you see that is happening has its root causes with poverty. That is one. Secondly, when you look also at the statistics of literacy level, you'll find out that we have the lowest in the north.
All right.
And recently, the farmers had these clashes again. It's not allowing our farmers to go to the farm. So the insecurity is building up. And the reason is because people are very, very, very angry because they are poor. So the Rebuild Arewa Initiative is very concerned with the situation, and we felt that our generation has to come in to bridge the gap between the government, our elites, and other socio-cultural groups like ours in order to come up with a solution, a sustainable solution to these problems. And if we are to get the sustainable solutions to these problems, then we have to go back to the drawing board. Look at what is the main occupation of northern people, which is farming. And what kind of farming are we doing? We are doing subsistence farming. Can subsistence farming sustain us? No. So we want to see how we can go back to mechanized farming in northern part of the country. That is one. Secondly, our people that are not going to school, how do we bring them back to school? Because if a child has not been going to school and you allow him to grow like that, And at the end of the day, when he doesn't have job to do, what do you expect? So it is an objective again to see that we robust the educational sector in northern Nigeria and make education a priority. However, we are ready and have the network to partner with our security agencies in order to help them to combat the insecurity that is prevailing in the north. It is unfortunate it is taking another dimension now. For the first time, the criminals or the bandits are demanding outrageous money. They have asked about 40 trillion this time around.
Yeah.
Those that have abducted people from Godongora are asking for 40 trillion naira and 11 SUVs and 150 motorcycles. So it is getting out of hand. Not to talk of the recently abducted 280 something students in the morning during their morning assemblies. So it is getting out of hand. All hands has to be on desk. So that's why we say we should come up with initiative.
All right. The question I'm going to ask you also ties to, because I've watched, reports and press conferences, and your organization has been talking about Ningi. But I'm going to look at this differently and ask you a question about leadership.
Yes.
Because when one looks at all of what is happening in northern Nigeria today, give an example with Kaduna State, that is the military headquarters of Nigeria. Kaduna State is now one state where terrorists feel comfortable to kidnap citizens and demand for 40 trillion. It's almost as if they have, it's not almost as if, what they have simply done is to tell us we can do nothing. Or we're going to look at the north, which has food baskets. Whether you're going to look at Plateau State, or you're going to look at Benue State, or you're going to look at Niger State, just look all around, right? And then what we do know for today is that our farmers are scared of going to farm. And rather than, when you look at all of these problems, or you look at the comfort with which people feel to move into communities and kill, rape, burn for about 2 days, because they know nothing will happen. It brings me to the big question about leadership, and this is how I ask you this question, right? That it doesn't matter what happens in the north. It doesn't matter the initiative that comes up in the north. If initiatives like yours and groups like yours do not come down heavy on northern leaders, right? Come down heavy on northern leaders, begin to prune out or hold them to account, prune out on visionary leaders, and ensure that leadership is looked at for what it is, and that is those with the capacity, those who really have the interest to come and serve. Because when you look at the north is disadvantaged. You gave the stats, and you talked about 133 million Nigerians. That was then. Today, trust me, you and I know it's far more, living in multidimensional poverty. And you say 70% of that in the north. But then statistics also tell us that when it comes to leadership and access to political power, and those who are, who call the shots in politics, the north has been blessed with that. So that is quite something that many people, because when you look at regions, they say the reason why we are underdeveloped, the reason why we have this problem, the reason why we have that problem is that we don't have access to power. But then when you look at the north, there's this paradox of, so the question I'm asking is, how do you guys, and when I say you guys, I mean it respectfully, and I mean it respectfully. How do you guys stand up and begin to change leadership in the north and for the north, for the interest of the north?
When you talk about leadership, that is governance. It is obvious that the system is not working. It is not serving Nigerians. It is only serving a very few. So when you talk about leadership, governance, you are talking about Nigeria at large. It's not about the North. Look what had just happened in the Senate. A whistleblower from the Senate whistled his blow, and he got suspended. Democracy is about participation and accountability.
Yeah.
If citizens will keep quiet while these kind of things are happening, then there is no democracy.
Yeah.
We have to speak out. And another senator, as you could see, was trying to whistle out too. He was complaining. Some senior senators got 500 million.
Yeah.
While some didn't. A senator from, I think, Bayelsa, Rufai.
Yeah.
You know? And they upped his mic. They upped his mic. They cannot up our mic as civil society groups. That's why we are voicing out that what has been done to Senator Ningi is not justifiable. What has been done to him is like stripping him of his democratic rights to speak out of what he see that is not going right.
Yeah.
So it is the beginning of the process. Participation is the beginning of the process to influence leadership. From what we are seeing, presidential system is not working for Nigeria because it has not been accountable. It has not been transparent, and it has proven to be too expensive for the country. And it's not working for everybody apart from the few senators and House of Reps and some executives. Look at the budget. Look at the budget. According to budget open budget index, about 6.1 trillion cannot be traced to any to any location or any particular job. So this system is not working, and collectively as Nigerians we have to speak out that the system is serving very few, that the system is not impacting on the ordinary lives of Nigerians. So, in essence, what we are trying to say, this is just a beginning. It's a process. We are trying to say no to the system, that the system is not working. There is hunger in the land. People are not eating. The inflation rate, according to their statistics, about 33%, and me and you know, is even more than that.
Yeah.
A bag of rice of about 70,000 or 75,000. And the minimum wage, 30,000. What are you talking about? The system is not working, and we have to speak out as citizens of this country, no matter, despite any religious, ethnic, sanctional sentiments.
Yeah.
We are all Nigerians. We are all going to the same market. So that is one of the most important thing about our group.
All right. Now, let me ask you this, and I hope you can round this up in 1 or 2 minutes. Now, this is Rebuild Arewa Initiative for Development. Are there plans, are there ideas, and is there the clear knowledge that to achieve what is best, there must be some kind of handshake across the Niger? And you know exactly what I mean. Or is the whole idea to have an Arewa initiative that says, well, if we fix our problem, then the country is fixed?
So, the issue, when you look at objective,
yes,
objective number 5, you know, there is this one that says to foster dialogue, collaboration among diverse ethnic and religious groups in the country. And when you talk about the handshake across the Niger, you'll soon hear from us. You'll soon hear from us that our generation and you in our generation will come and discuss about national questions about this country. I want to believe the Igbos are more Nigerians than any other ethnic group in this country, because there is no any local government you go, you not see an Igbo doing his business. And the agitation for succession has been going on, crippling the activities of the Igbos. I want to believe that if there is general understanding among our generation that this system, presidential system, is not working for the country, I believe if we extend our hands of friendship to our brothers in the southeast that are calling for succession, that, okay, come, let's passion out a different system that will work for the country. Let's say parliamentary system or any other system we feel. Nigeria is the greatest nation on earth, in particular in Africa, because of our numbers, because of our diversity, because of our mineral resources, because of our natural resources. So we are proud of it, but it's not working for us. Let's restructure it and work as one country and move together. That's the kind of handshake we will soon extend to your people, to our generation, because I believe the people that are agitating for now are our generation. So, Mr. Jude, I want you to be prepared for us that our initiative is not only for the North. It is one of our objectives to foster dialogue, collaboration among ethnic and religious groups in the country. So please let me use the opportunity. I know you two, you are a comrade. I don't know whether you are more of a media one or of a comrade. but put together, put together is much better. So very soon, Mr. Jude, you hear from us.
All right, I like the way it sounds. There are two ways you tell somebody you hear from us. One of them is for the person who you told to start running away. But I think this one is a good one. And just to also tell you that I'm waiting to hear from you. All right.
Thank you very much, Mr. Jude.
All right. Thank you very much. My guest today, of course, has been Balarabe Rufai, President, Rebuild Arewa Initiative for Development. Of course, he is the immediate past president of the Coalition of Northern Groups. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you very much, Mr. Jude, for having me.
All right.